I have long maintained that Hawaii is more similar to Japan than it is like the rest of the mainland US. We've even got many Japanese restaurant chains here. Out of all of them, my kids' favorite has to be Curry House CoCo Ichibanya. Japanese curry is to Japanese kids what mac and cheese is to American kids. But let's start with an appetizer. Their shrimp Shu Mai is pretty identical to the Ajinomoto ones you find in the frozen section. But whereas we would just microwave ours at home, these are deep fried for an extra crunch. Crunchy outside with that same comforting, soft, shrimpy interior. My kids would always get a corn salad with their curry kids meal, along with a kalpiko and some cheese Ritz bits. Yum! But actually, the creamy sesame dressing here at Curry House is one of my favorite dressings in the world. With that cold, sweet corn and fresh, crisp lettuce, this salad is so refreshing. No wonder my kids would eat it. My wife would always get a mixed veggie curry or a Gyoza Curry. Like the Shu Mai, the gyoza here is deep fried so the skin is really crunchy. To be honest though, I think I prefer my gyoza pan fried, so it's got a juicy soft side to contrast the crispy bottom. But to me, going to Curry House always means getting the chicken katsu with the shabu shabu beef curry. The shabu beef is so succulent and mouth-wateringly tender. It's sliced super thin, which just soaks in all that curry flavor. Conversely, the beef infuses the curry with its beefy flavor. Eaten with the rice, it's warm, comforting, and nostalgic. My wife likes her curry super mild, but I like a good kick in mine. And at Curry House, you can choose how you like it. Oh, and don't forget to help yourself to some of those tangy tsukemono pickles on the side. They make a great palate cleanser between the rich bites of meat and curry. But the best thing is their chicken katsu. They have hands down the best fast food chicken katsu in town. And dipping it into the curry just amps up the flavor to an 11. Crispy, crunchy on the outside, juicy and clean on the inside. It's no wonder that my kids love Curry House so much. If you've ever been to Japan, or really anywhere around Asia, you're probably familiar with Genki Sushi. They've pretty much set the standard when it comes to conveyor belt sushi, so it's no surprise that they're hugely popular in Hawaii. But why settle for old sushi that's been circling around the whole restaurant when you can just order sushi on the app and have it made fresh and immediately delivered to you straight via a race car or bullet train? Let's start with the classics. My favorite sushi is a simple Japanese-style tuna mayo, but Genki Sushi amps it up by heaping it on top of a sweet, juicy Inari sushi, or cone sushi as we call it in Hawaii. But even more popular is the spicy ahi inari. The chunks of ahi are so luscious and goes so well with that spicy creamy sauce, which contrasts with that sweet aburaage, named for the queen of the kitsune, Inari. You don't really get a lot of vegetables when you have sushi for dinner, so it's a nice contrast to have these green bean tempura atop a nigiri sushi. Nigiri means to press, and that's how they make that classic sushi shape. Genki sushi may be popular all over Asia, but you know you're in Hawaii when you can get a spam and tamago sushi. They look like cute mini spam musubis, but it's actually sushi rice, pressed into the nigiri form. So ono. But the real Hawaiian sushi would have to be this ahi limu poke Gunkan sushi. This is true Hawaiian poke with limu seaweed cut perfectly by a sushi chef. And it makes so much sense atop a little gunkan or battleship of sushi rice. Genki Sushi's premier sushi is probably their ultimate trio. Rather than just raw sashimi, these are beautiful pieces of salmon, ahi, and hamachi that are seared on the outside and paired with a garlicky mayo. Just a perfect presentation. But my favorite thing at Genki Sushi are these baked mussels. That garlic mayo just brings out the flavor of those plump, succulent mussels so well. It's divine to the last drop. In Japan, these chain restaurants are called family restaurants. I guess you could compare them to American diners, places you can take your whole family to dinner. Even with all the Japanese family restaurants we've got here in Hawaii, I was so excited for the latest one that just opened up here, Pepper Lunch. I had heard so much about it, but I never got to experience it when I was in Japan. So I was thrilled that they have finally opened a location here in the islands. Pepper Lunch is famous for serving their food on a sizzling hot platter. It's like having your own personal teppanyaki. It was their way of making sure that every dish is cooked exactly to perfection. Even just a simple plate of tofu, vegetables, and rice are elevated by the searing hot iron. After getting your entree, you have to mix it all together so you can get that perfect bite. But if you let it sit for a little bit, the rice on the bottom gets crispy crunchy. That's the best part. No wonder Pepper Lunch is so popular across Japan and throughout Asia. Adding a little bit of sauce kicks it up with the salty umami flavor. They've also got a mean teriyaki chicken as well. It's so much fun putting together all the components and then drizzling that thick, sweet, salty teriyaki sauce all over it. The chicken is moist and savory and goes down so easy. Simple but satisfying. But honestly, the best thing at Pepper Lunch is the original, the classic beef pepper rice. The meat is shaved so nice and thin, they don't even have to cook it. Just let it sit for a moment on that sizzling hot platter. And it's so well seasoned, with a very generous amount of pepper that gives it a good kick. And of course, there isn't anything that a good fried egg doesn't just make even better. Oh yeah, I can see what the fuss is all about. The aroma from that pepper just enhances that juicy, beefy flavor. Even the smoke from the sizzling platter permeates the rice, giving it a smoky, beefy, umami-filled flavor. I've been watching other YouTubers in Japan share their favorite family restaurants with the world. Among them was Marugame Udon, a classic joint enjoyed by university students through salarymen. I thought that name sounded familiar, because of course we have several of them here in Hawaii too. So I was curious to check them out for myself. To be honest, I didn't care for udon as much when I was a little kid. Udon noodles are thicker and chewier than say ramen or soba, and I usually like my noodles thin and supple. But I've grown to appreciate the texture of these noodles. I've also never really eaten tonkotsu broth as a kid either. Thick and creamy, almost chowder-like, tonkotsu has gotten pretty popular these days. I mean, who can argue against pork bones simmering for hours to infuse the broth with their porky goodness? But my favorite Japanese broths are crisp and clear shoyu dashi stock. There is just something so elegant in their simplicity. Whereas other cuisines play heavily with combinations of flavors, Japanese food always lets each individual flavor shine in the spotlight for you to appreciate. I can totally see why they're so popular across Japan, Look at this thin, succulent piece of beef. It's so savory, and the beef flavor just shines through. The shoyu and mirin are only there to amplify the beefy flavor. Look at this egg. Perfectly cooked. The yolk isn't runny. It isn't hard or powdery. It's a perfect, thick, smooth jelly that just coats your mouth with intense egg flavor. Besides the udon, Marugame has a whole array of different crispy fried goodies to accompany it. I always have gyoza with my noodles. Dumplings and noodles go hand in hand like burgers and fries. Though it's been sitting there under the heat lamps, this shrimp tempura is still light and crispy and not too oily. It's such a classic Japanese flavor. But check out this massive crab tempura. Sure, it's imitation crab and not the real thing, but it's still such a satisfying and flavorful bite. Getting to eat at all these Japanese family restaurants makes me feel like I'm instantly transported back to my adventures in Tokyo. And it makes me so happy that we can enjoy them here in the islands as well.